When I was little, I actually wanted to be a scientist. I didn't have anything marketing in my head or what marketing even was. I wanted to do that because I love how the whole concept of learning how things work, learning how things break, and wanted to know how to fix it. So I actually wanted to be a scientist. From there on, as I got older, from middle school into high school, I actually went to high school for engineering. And I was like, okay, I wanted to be a computer engineer because I got into computers so heavy during that time. And I moved from New York City, went to school actually in Florida for 1 year, and they had this marketing class. And I was like, as being someone who's creative, I was like, wow, I can use my creativity to do these things like campaigns. And I just thought it was so interesting and fun. So then I went on to actually go and actually apply for college and took on a marketing major and left. I wish I would have never left science alone because it's really more lucrative to be in that than marketing. Um, there's way more opportunities, especially during that time. Because when I graduated from college in '09, it was the recession and you couldn't really find too much of anything. And I had a real chip on my shoulder because I'm like, is this because I'm a black woman? Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And, I was like, damn, I wish I would have stuck with science because that's something that you can actually always show, like, you could
It's
always
always something there.
prove.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could always like prove your talents more than going through a pool of a whole bunch of people and they want the publicist to look this way. Like in the gaming industry, it's mostly blonde, blue-eyed women who are publicists that I've encountered a lot. Like, so when I see someone, even a white woman, when I see she's not blonde, I'm like, wow, this is different. But yeah, as a publicist, I don't come around a lot of black women as publicists in the gaming industry. In other industries, yes. But in the gaming industry, you really don't become, you mostly see Asian and white women as publicists in the gaming industry. So, um, just having it in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I love to write. I love to voice my opinions. So I did that mostly on social media, and that's what actually broke me and like got me into the door of being a journalist. I was on some independent websites, doing writing. Shouts out to Treasy. He gave me my very first shot at working for an independent uh, outlet. Independent outlets is so important still. And that then led me on to knowing how to structure certain things, but actually voicing my opinions and everything on Twitter is what actually got my foot in the door to be a journalist, like to make money, like professionally. So,
Mm.
yeah, I had no idea. I did use my marketing degree to some type of point in the gaming industry, but it was for a short time. But I still have that marketing background as far as ideas and kind of how to fix things. Like, so I kind of put together on how I like to fix things and solve problems to a marketing aspect as well and create.
I can dig that. So in some way, it does actually offer you a bit of an advantage, I guess, being able to see things a certain way. Um, and I dig what you're saying though, because not just publicist wise, I just on this side period, I really didn't see that many black people when I started, and I'm starting to understand now that we out here. I just didn't see us. I didn't know where to look, um, and which is crazy living your life on the internet and not knowing where to look for something. But it was like that, like in the same way that I hear black women now always talk about how like you out here, like you're not unicorns. You've been here, and this is what you do.
Yeah, I hate that
Um,
term uniform. Like,
but a dummy like me, like to me, I just discovered you. Like I would have never known. Like I've been looking for you. Where you been at? Type stuff. And now I'm being introduced to so many more people, and I'm seeing now people that's been in this for a while, for definitely longer than I have. But like it's hard, or at least it was in the beginning, hard for me to think of y'all as anything other because like I'm out here
yeah,
looking and still can't find you. So no disrespect to saying it, but like we've been waiting on you. Where you at? um, and on the other side of that, like I look at gaming a little different, I guess, because I've been a gamer my whole life. But I thought if I were to get into the games industry, it would be in a different way. Like I started in music,
Mm-hmm.
and I like gaming so much, especially in the beginning, I liked the gaming industry so much because I could do the same things that I do now. I
Mm-hmm.
could use the same skills that I acquired elsewhere to help me here. And it's funny because a lot of people don't have the same ones, so it makes me, I guess, a bit unique. Like there's other people, but everybody's music's different. And I always say everything that music made me work harder than I should have for, or everything that music, especially information wise, tried to sell me, gaming gave me for free and told me to
Mm.
like go use it. And so like you giving me pointers just in my short time knowing you that I feel like is equivalent to teaching me to fish. Gaming would have just sold me fish over and over. Not even giving them to me, sold them to me over. I mean, music. I'm sorry, would have just
Yeah.
sold me fish over and over. And that's what I respect about gaming so far. But I have actually started to stumble onto conversations of like
Yeah.
gatekeeping, like the same conversations that we would have in music. I start to stumble onto just instances of certain things. And now I have a weird perspective on gatekeeping, but before I discuss that, I'm gonna shut up talking and ask you about yours.
Okay. Um, g- gatekeeping is a problem, because it's turned into a different connotation when it comes to the word gatekeeping. Especially, we see it a lot in our community. It's like we see it a lot in our community, and it's like on a podcast yesterday. I do a podcast with Sebastian, aka Chosen One, legend in the fighting game community, Marcus Howard, who has done so much with blockchain and now is trying to actually utilize esports as well with his business, Meta Arena. We spoke about, and Derek as well, Watford, a High Point Gamer. We spoke about like gatekeeping. We had Tim Fields on, um, and we was talking about black venture capitalists and how they have this certain checklist that they give to their own black community that is far more in depth than what you would do when you reach out to a white venture capitalist. And I'm like, why? It's like we already go through so much shit as a whole now. There's no reason to pack on more and more like troubles and headaches. So in the gaming industry, I see it a lot too. There's been a couple of personalities, and they've changed in this industry. There's some more that I've worked with too that are heavy gatekeepers. That's the reason. Another reason why I wanted to form my own outlet was because I didn't want to deal with building someone else's dream that didn't go in line with trying to help your people as well. They just wanted to gatekeep. They wanted to be the head Negro of of the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be the best Negro. And what about your fellow brothers and sisters that shining? Why you don't want to be a part of their growth, and why you don't want to be a part of them being successful? When they're successful, you're successful because it's like, yo, they came up with your outlet. You know what I'm saying? Something there had to be some gems there. There's certain people in our community that don't think like that. There was another personality I know. They're big too now, and they had that same outlook. And I'm so grateful that they've changed. So there is room for change. But if you don't seek that, you're really doing more harm than good. And I see that a lot. I want to be the head, or even in this industry, we keep seeing the same black people highlighted over and over and over again, and that's a problem because it counters what we're trying to do as far as expanding. Just like how you said, "Well, damn, I just found out about you, Red. That's bad." I've been in this industry for 10 years, and just like my sis and colleague Keisha Howard, like she's just now getting her flowers. She's done a lot too, and she's been in the industry a little longer than I have. There's no reason why she's just now getting her like her rewards and things of that nature. Like, so I've seen that a lot. And of course, it bothers me because it's like, okay, going into the next generation, I want to change that. So that's why I make it my business that when I see someone getting some shine and getting, represented in some type of way and highlighted, I'm definitely going to share that. Support is not just about giving a dollar all the time. It's a simple click of retweeting, it's a simple comment, it's a
Or a
simple
little
check
like
in,
somewhere. Yeah.
a like, it's a simple, hey, how can I help you in some type of way? I think a lot of time in our community, we think that when we have all this knowledge and gems and whatever you title you want to put on, it's like, I just want it all for myself so I could be better. And it's like, no. So like, we our culture is about like a village. It's always have been. And having those outside ideals from other people is damaging us more than racism can. And when you're inflicting those same type of aspects on your own people, like I said, it's worse than racism from a different different race and nation. Like, it really is. So yeah, with gatekeeping in the gaming industry, I do see it a lot with our people. And sometimes it's like second nature. They don't even know that they're gatekeeping. When I keep seeing the same people highlighted for stuff, that's
Hmm.
gatekeeping. It's
And
like,
we had a conversation about that. We had a conversation about that on Twitter. Some people came from the perspective of, well, you know what? You're right. It shouldn't be just the same, 4 or 5 people. How do we fix that? Some people came from the perspective of, oh, well, it's not fair to those 4 or 5 people that you said it that you say it is to say that because it says they didn't work hard enough, or they didn't work hard enough to get it, or they don't deserve that spot. Other people said, I mean, there was a lot of stuff going back and forth being said. The way I see it, all of that was shattered for me when I seen, I want to say it was Pikachu Lita, when I seen her tweet something like, oh, well, I was featured for Black History Month, and I was featured for the LGBT thing, and I was featured for this or whatever. I'm happy. I'm good. The next time somebody approaches me for something, I'm going to point them in the direction of somebody that needs it. That whole
exactly.
conversation for me was shattered when I saw that, because I was like, oh, nobody asked for that. You just offered it. Nobody, like, now I don't know. Every time I see somebody think or say some real shit, then I'm like, oh snap, that's how it's supposed to be. Like,
That's how it's supposed to be.
now I get it.
Exactly what you said is how it's supposed to be. Um, like I always, wherever I get something, I'm like, okay, well, how can we do this so this person too can be able to do it? So, that's why another pillar to that factor is make sure you expose yourself more. I've been like, I'm guilty as that as well. I needed to expose myself a little more. Of course, I've been on different things and you've seen me, but exposing myself more, being
Well,
on
won't
like
people like
platforms like
call
this.
HR or the police or something if you started doing that? Like, did I?
Not that type of exposure, no. All right, the world ain't ready. Well, not that type of exposure. Um, but yeah, just showcasing yourself more. If someone, for example, because you have people like, well,